and welcome. Today's video is drawing on the success that we had last time with a standard 3D printed trumpet mouthpiece. If you recall from one of my previous videos, this sort of design worked brilliantly. It played nice, it didn't have any weird tuning issues, and it functioned equivalent to just standard plastic mouthpieces. And so that got me thinking, how far can we push the limits of sensibility and common sense when it comes to mouthpiece designs? And so to experiment with this, I have three Ludicrous trumpet mouthpieces that we are going to test today. The first one is this one. You'll see the 3D print, the 3D CAD file up here. But what makes this mouthpiece interesting is that it isn't round, it is square. The rim, I guess you would still call it, is square. The cup is square. It has a couple of bevels around the sides of it, so it's not just 90 degrees corners, but it is a square mouthpiece. So we're going to see what that sounds like to play on. Secondly, we have this mouthpiece. This mouthpiece is round, but the cup is incredibly deep, as you'll see from up here. In fact, it is so deep that I can take my little finger, put the mouthpiece on it, and it goes down well beyond my first knuckle. It is a very, very deep mouthpiece. So we'll see what this one sounds like. And thirdly, we have probably one of the weirder mouthpieces that I've designed, and that is this one. The hole where the air goes through is not right in the center at the bottom, it is off to the side. So it's sort of an off-centered mouthpiece, and so we're going to see what that does, if anything, to the sound. Again, I have that sort of design up here. So let's get straight into this. Firstly, I'll just sort of calibrate my mic with a standard 3D printed mouthpiece so we can remind ourselves what that sounds like. Secondly, we are going to try this square mouthpiece. Next, we have got the very, very deep, silly mouthpiece, and we're going to hear what that one sounds like. And lastly, the off-centered mouthpiece. And so the results. Well, what I experienced is hopefully the same as what you could hear, and that is that these three mouthpieces here, of course the standard mouthpiece design that we've got here, the square mouthpiece and the off-centered mouthpiece, they all sound fairly similar. The only experience that you get with playing them is a little bit of discomfort, because particularly with the square one because of how badly it's designed, but with the off-centered one and also with the square one, it's just a little bit harder to play. It doesn't really change the sound that much, and certainly with the off-center one it doesn't seem to matter too much which angle you have the mouthpiece at. It all gives a pretty similar experience, and that is just a little bit more resistance, and that's about it. However, we are going to look in a bit more detail at the very, very deep mouthpiece, because this one alters the sound dramatically. And so what I'm going to do is just muck around, play a few other things, and just to sort of give more of an example of the sound that this one gets. The very first thing we have to do is put the tuning slide in as far as it goes. Because of how big this mouthpiece is, it flattens the instrument quite substantially. And as none of you will have noticed because the camera is not showing it, I'm actually wearing the trombone design shirt. Now you yourself can pick up this very shirt, well not this one but a copy of this one, or any sort of other merchandise featuring this design as well as a tuba design and a trumpet design at the merchandise store that will be in the link in the video description below. What have we learned from this really deep, ludicrous trumpet mouthpiece? Well, firstly, it makes the instrument a whole lot harder to play. It almost obliterates your top range. It has some very unpleasant tuning side effects, but it does give the instrument a very mellow sound, almost akin to what you would expect with a very bad mellophone, although of course it is in the B-flat range. Perhaps with some revisions or whatever, this could be made into a more pleasant sounding mouthpiece in a way of getting your trumpet to behave a little bit more like a flugelhorn, and so perhaps some further work is required on that, I don't know. So it's just a bit of an interesting experiment, just mucking around, so I hope you've enjoyed, and thanks for watching.